The Raiders get it done. Raiders are now 3-7 on the season. 1-7 against every team not named the Denver Broncos. They complete the sweep. They get the victory. Davante Adams gets it done. 3-play drive in overtime to win the game. And the first play went negative yardage. That's an impressive overtime drive by the Raiders and a depressing performance by a vaunted Denver defense. I mean, much was made of the fact that Nathaniel Hackett gave up play calling so he could be involved with the other phase of the team. Maybe after yesterday, the Denver defense is like, hey, Nate, we're fine. You just stay with the offense. We're fine. We're good. We'll graciously decline your involvement in the defense. But look, the Broncos just keep finding ways. They don't get embarrassed by the score. They get embarrassed by the process. I can't think of a team like this that if you look at the scores of their games, you don't say, oh, boy, go, like Vikings 40-3, oh, you should go hide in a hole. But there is like a moment from every game that happens where you're like, how is a professional football team, whether it's a coach, a quarterback, or some other player, doing something this stupid to contribute to a narrow defeat?
Look, okay, first of all, if anybody should know that you need to cover Davante Adams, it should be Nathaniel Hackett. I mean, come on. Why is the closest defender to Davante Adams in overtime a state over? I mean, what is this? Like, what is this? This is craziness. I mean, that's as easy. I could have made that throw, Mike. You could have made that throw. That's crazy that Davante Adams was that open in overtime. So that's ridiculous. And, I mean, things that we want about the Raiders, the only teams they've beaten so far this year, and you mentioned that they're 2-0 against the Broncos. Their other victory came against the Houston Texans, so I don't really know what that says. But, when you have the kind of week that the Raiders had after losing to Jeff Saturday's Colts, they needed something to at least gain some positive momentum. And, at least yesterday, I guess we could say that Josh McDaniels did a fantastic job.
Well, and I'll say this, too, about that throw and catch. I've talked to enough guys over the years to know that those situations make it even harder. When you see the guy that open, you get a little nervous that you're going to miss him. When you are that open, you get a little nervous that maybe you're going to drop it. It's too easy. You can think too much about it. It shouldn't be that something's wrong here. What's going on? Oh, I still have to catch it. Whoops, there it went. So they still had to execute in that moment, and they did. David Carr is 8-2 in his career in overtime games. The best win percentage by Derek. Who did I say? Did I say Derek Anderson? Derek
David.
Carr. Did I say David Carr? David Carr. Somebody Carr. Derek Carr. And then I thought I said Derek Anderson. That just shows how far up my head is this morning. Derek Carr is 8-2 in his career in overtime games. The best winning percentage by any quarterback with 10 or more overtime games in their career. Second best is Tom Brady at 10-4. I knew it was going to overtime when Nathaniel Hackett said last week somebody's got to win this game, and it has been a rough road. They've lost their third overtime game of the season, and it just feels like, how does he survive? And I'm not anti-Nathaniel Hackett. I'm very pro assessing what is happening in front of us, and we've seen it before. Every time a coordinator becomes a head coach, you don't know whether or not that person is going to have the skill set to thrive at a fundamentally different job. It is different in every way imaginable. Tony Dungy tells the story. He's in Tampa Bay, and they come to him and they say, hey, we go to Kansas City in the preseason. What hotel do you want to stay in? He's like, why are you asking me? Because you're the coach. That's a decision you make. It changes your entire existence when you ditch the X's and O's for being the CEO of the football team. Some guys can do it. Some guys can't. Sometimes you can tell quickly. Sometimes it takes a little while. Through 10 games of Nathaniel Hackett's career, it's safe to say he can't. He just can't. And the owners there didn't hire him. And they expect more. The fans expect more. They're going to need to find somebody who can fix Russell Wilson. That's going to be topic A, B, C, D, E of every interview they do once they fire Nathaniel Hackett and start looking for the next coach. How do you get more out of Russell Wilson? And how do you teach him to not throw the ball away when he should take a sack, which, as you said earlier during a break, it's something that a guy who's been in the NFL for 11 years now should know without anyone telling him.
3rd down and 10.
Here's the play.
You're throwing it to try to win the game. Perfect. Fine. But when the play is dead, take the sack. We saw Taylor Heineke do it last Monday night. Takes the knee, right? And then he ends up getting hit, and it's a weird situation, but he gets a free 15 yards, game's over. If you just take the sack, keep the clock moving. It's inexcusable for a veteran quarterback of Russell Wilson's experience to throw the ball away in that situation. Slide, you take the sack. You keep the clock moving. There is nothing that Nathaniel Hackett should have had to tell him, or Clint Kubiak, who was calling the plays yesterday, should have had to remind Russell Wilson of what that is. They don't have any timeouts. You know that. You're coming out of the 2-minute warning. You understand what's going on here. You have to know that as a veteran quarterback, the things that I cannot do are have an incomplete pass, or at least the pass is not that competitive. If it goes over the middle and, you're trying to throw it and the defense breaks up a play, that's at least an earned play. But if the play is dead, the play is dead. Take the sack, let the clock wind, and let it go. That's what happens there. And I don't understand what you need to tell Russell Wilson to tell him, hey, man, don't do that there. Been in the league 10 plus years. Enough.
And even if it didn't dawn on him before Monday night, you wonder, did he watch the Monday night game? Did he actively watch the Monday night game? I wonder how many quarterbacks, how many players watch other games and are constantly like with a notepad or their phone, like taking notes on something I see, something I hear that I could maybe incorporate in some way. I mean, I'm watching this game, but I'm also learning from it. I don't know, but that was up the. But you pointed it out, the Taylor Heineke thing, a prime example from Monday night when everyone was watching as to what you do in that moment to keep the clock moving and not stop the clock and give the Raiders even more time to try to force overtime. Here's Nathaniel Hackett from after the game on whether he's talked to his immediate boss, General Manager George Payton, or his ultimate boss, CEO Greg Penner, about the first-year head coach's future.
For me, everything's about this team and the staff. I've told you guys that before. I mean, I just want to do everything I can to help this team win. We've been so close. We've had so many opportunities. We've had a lot of things happen this year that are unfortunate, but we have to continually find ways to win. That's my sole purpose. That's all I'm looking to do. Whatever happens, those things I can't control. And always communicate with everybody, talk about everything, show them all the different things that are going on so they can have all their answers, their questions answered, and go from there.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. The only question for me is, does he make it to the end of the season, or they decide? And I'm a firm believer, once you decide it's done, be done. Move on. Because you have an opportunity to select one of these assistants to be the on-the-job person who auditions for the permanent head coaching job. You see what someone can do, unless they go off the board and bring in Gary Zimmerman or some other former offensive lineman to the team who's never coached.
I nominated Ed McCaffrey.
Sort of, so.
Yeah, it's another franchise legend. Seems like on the.
I think it's just not working, and I can't imagine the Walmart moguls deciding to give him another year. There's nothing he's done this year, Myles, that is maybe say, hey, there's that little glimmer, there's that little thing, there's that thread that we can pull to see a better second year. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.